I just wanted to ask you because meditation means different things to different people, and a lot of us are exploring the space of meditation. So I wanted to ask you, how do you see meditation, and what does meditation mean to you?
Well, for me, I prefer to speak about meditative states because for me, meditation is a state. It's not a thing that we do. It's a state that we should be in. And that is the most natural state of being. But since we are all born in this society that is teaching us to compete, to run, time is money, this and that, that is all hiding from the true nature. So when we let go of all that social norms that are imposed to us, we go back to this natural state of being. And that is meditation for me, the most natural state of being. And why I love to talk during meditation, because I think we need to just be inspired to go into this state where we can observe what we really are, see how we really feel, because we can even be wrong in how we feel. We can be wrong with our minds. There are so many thoughts that are not ours, that are coming from media, from neighbors, this and that, but it's not true. But when we calm down and with our inner eye observe, then we really see what we really think, what we really feel. And of course, meditation is this neutral mind beyond all these feelings and thoughts. But we can come into this state in different ways. There are so many different ways to meditate: passive, active, dynamic. We can move and meditate. We can sit quietly and meditate. So it's all about this state of mind and heart when we really feel and see ourselves and life as it is. We see us as we are.
Beautiful, fantastic. Yeah, actually, seeing ourselves as we are is something we don't do in our normal living life. So I think giving ourselves the space and the time to be ourselves with ourselves is a wonderful way to put that. So I want to ask you your own personal journey. You were a journalist, and progressively you moved to becoming a holistic teacher. So what prompted you, and how was the journey from?
Okay, well, I have to say first that I was a holistic journalist. So I was a journalist in the field of art, philosophy, holistic therapies. So I was not in a economy or politics or this thing that I find boring. But so I was more as a researcher and explorer, but I would always get a lot of letters and emails from the readers. So they would say, oh, this helped me a lot. I read this, I read that. Then they asked, can you suggest something about this and that. So I would give some advice, connect with my contributors as I could. Then I started studying homeopathy. I went to yoga teacher training. I went to study transpersonal psychology. I went to study holistic dance called 5 Rhythms, which is famous in America. So I said, I'm very curious. So at one moment, I realized that I become a workaholic. And I thought, since I love my job, it's not a problem. But it was really a problem because I was all over and reading and teaching and learning actually so much. But I wasn't really paying attention to myself and my own needs. So I decided to stop, to come back to myself and to see what I really need, what I love most. So then I started doing some artistic projects. I did some haiku film projects, video art. I made some music, all these different things. And then spontaneously, as I started researching the Ikigai concept of Japanese philosophy to find our true mission in life, my friends asked me, can you do this as a workshop? Can you set up something for us, friendly, this and that? And then spontaneously it started, you know. Although before that I was teaching this dance, which is also meditative dancing, but I wasn't really seeing myself as a teacher, but as somebody who share experience. But then as I realized that I'm a little bit ashamed of all these good things and good vibes that are, I'm getting this good feedback, I said to myself, okay, why am I ashamed to say that I'm a teacher? Because it's truth, you know. So that was a question of my self-esteem, you know. Then I realized the more I teach, the more I learn. And every participant of my workshop always give me something new, some new lesson. So it's a two-way street, you know, as they say. The more we teach, the more we learn. And I always keep contact with my mentors and my teachers from all over the world. And I think I'm really blessed that I was brave and strong enough to say, okay, I have this gift that I can share with people and I should follow it, you know. So in
I
a way,
think
it was spontaneous.
in the same spirit as to what you said in throughout the meditation and also just earlier is about teaching is also a way of sharing um, our gift and being able to share it with all people who come into our lives. So that's wonderful that you are putting in the time and the effort and making that space to be able to share that, Maya. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you for that. And so, but you are so multi-talented and you've explored so many spaces. So how do you, for someone like you, create your own personal practice and personal, for your own growth? How do you take care of yourself?
Well, first, I explored many different theories, practices, techniques. So I do with myself what I also say to other people. You have to listen to your body. That's the first thing. Our body is our temple. That's not just a phrase, that's truth. So the first thing is I always connect to my body wisdom to ask myself, like I asked you during meditation, what is your favorite food? It is very important. You know, that is something very simple, but it's very important. And do we really ask ourselves and our body, what do you want to eat today? You know, we can ask our friend, what do you want to eat? But do we ask ourselves, you know? So in a way, I ask myself, what do I need today? Sometimes I need to meditate 15 minutes. Sometimes I need to meditate 1 hour. Sometimes I need some dynamic dancing meditation. Sometimes I need to lay down while I meditate and do yoga nidra, you know. And also I think there is maybe one thing that is good for everybody. If we feel down or weak, good thing is that we sing. Whatever song you like, but singing is healing. And it doesn't matter what kind of rhythm or what kind of music, but singing itself is healing. So that's one thing that I do every day. But other techniques, it depends. It depends on my mood. It depends. Do I have many meetings? Am I in nature? Am I in big city? This or that. But I meditate every day, different kinds of meditation, and I ask my body, what do I need now? And that I follow. Sometimes I need to walk near the river and to let go of all the stress I have in my head, to imagine that it's just a leaf that is fall, you know, it's here is autumn now. So I imagine that wind is blowing the stressful thoughts into the river. You know, that's also a very good technique that everybody can do. But it
Beautiful.
depends what we need. And I write. Writing is my healing technique. And I have this concept of meditative writing, which maybe we can do some other time. Because when we do some deep inner reflections, it's like dreaming. Sometimes if you don't tell or write down your dream, you can forget it. So also when we go deep into our minds, we can easily forget. Because again, that's how we are learned, you know. But to reconnect with our minds, I can suggest something to everybody. When you wake up, just write down 3 pages of paper, anything that is on your mind. You can write about your dream, about your day that you have to do something, anything you have, 3 pages. And do this for example, 3 weeks and not read. Do not read what you write. Just write down 3 pages every morning. And after 3 weeks, you take this notebook and read. So don't type. It's important that you write with your hand. It's different vibration, different frequency. And then when you go back and you read, you have another perspective and you see your different self. It's a sort of
Beautiful.
meditation, but a writing meditation.
Beautiful.
So I
Beautiful.
meditate, I write, I sing, I dance. That's what I do every day, but in different ways.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that sharing, because I think everyone has different perspectives of this whole thing. But I'm just going back to what you originally said about meditation being a state of accepting and being who you are. And what you possibly described was different ways in which you get to that state. And every day you listen to your body, you listen to your mind, and you listen to your breath, and you find what's an appropriate way in which you get into that state. Kind of. Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you so much, Maya. But one important thing before I let you go is I really love your concept of a party. And I want you to describe that party to all of us. How all of us can, because we all love partying, so how can we party in a way which is fun?
Okay, so it started with because I was trained in Hatha Yoga, but also in Kundalini Yoga, also in Mantra Yoga. I mean, I told you I'm so curious. I have to do all these things. But then with the Kundalini Yoga, we usually have this practice during the full moon. So there are some special kriyas, these Kundalini exercises that we do only in the night of full moon. But then since my teacher one is from India, one is from States, one is from Brazil. So I can see them sometimes, but since now I'm in Serbia, I cannot see them all the time. Then my teacher told me, Maya, you should do this full moon meditation concept. I said, okay, but I was thinking I should add a little bit into it, this meditative writing, but also I would like to add this body wisdom part with this meditative dancing. But then I was thinking, but if we dance, and I have many musicians friends, why don't we do it with live music, So I would invite my friend with saxophone, my friend with sitar, And then I said, well, listen, this is not when you say workshop, you have to work. This is not a nice word. But then working on ourselves and exploring our own mind and spirit and body should be really fun. And actually we have this dancing and all these things. So why don't we call it a holistic party? And then it was funny because I thought, but in party, people usually drink something, eat something. And I was thinking, okay, I can call my friend who is a raw vegan chief, and we can make some interesting food, which is very healthy, of course. So there is no smoking, no alcohol, nothing about that. But we make this healthy, holistic, artistic party, some creative and very productive thing, So I was thinking, but how long should this last? We shouldn't do this all night. We shouldn't do this late. But I realized 3 hours is just enough, I mean, also, we can do it as a retreat. We can do this for 7 days or something. It's also a good thing. But as this workshop thing, which is actually a holistic party thing, for 3 hours, we have very dynamic experience, which is also very transformational, Because we do exercises, I mean, one kriya is like 3 minutes. Then we do meditation, 7 minutes. Then we do meditative writing, 10 minutes. Then we do dancing. So it's all very kind of short exercises, but also we do some interactive exercises. And it's best when you do in couple with somebody you never saw before in your life. So you don't have any expectations, any judgments, So also some people became great friends. Even some of them get married because they met this holistic party. That was like my greatest happiness to see, So I really love this, and I wish that people could think about meditation and yoga and all these holistic therapies and holistic things as something that is fun, because it is fun to go beyond your fears, to be aware of your insecurities, to try being the best version of yourself. It is fun. It is most fun thing in the world, if you ask me. And I wish I can, share this to people so they can feel also this beautiful inspiration, you know.
Thank you so much, Maya. That is wonderful, and maybe we can tell your mother that you're the holistic party organizer. Maybe that's the way to describe yourself to her. Okay, you and upon all of creation. Thank you, Maya, for today. Thank you for reminding us of our strength and bringing it back to us. And thank you all for joining us this morning, and see you again next week.